Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Mo Show podcast. This is season 2, episode 6, Bailey, Building and Loan. How are you, everybody? My name's Mark Maloney. I am your host alongside AK219 and Aiden, spelled the right way. Aiden Maloney, how are you today?
Feeling fantastic. Fantastic. We had a nice holiday. Got a 3-day weekend out of that. Very productive.
Good.
And now I'm sat down here for the Mark Mo Show, and I'm feeling great.
That's excellent. Yeah, I worked through Memorial Day.
That's true.
And so I rewarded myself by taking today off, which is pretty great. I got sleep, which was...
Today being Friday for us, Saturday
for you guys listening. Yes. Absolutely. And so, yeah, my Friday's been great. I slept in, went to a coffee shop, saw a few friends there, got some work done.
Bueno.
Saw a friend, she was having a garage sale, so I stopped there, chit-chatting a little bit, might buy a couch from her.
That's fun.
We'll see how I desperately need one.
Yeah.
Like, the one I have is just lumpy, and like those leather ones, but that leather just gets so dry, and it's beyond fixable now. So it might work. It might work. We're going to see how that one goes.
Could be fantastic.
It could. It really could. And so anyway, Mark Mo Show podcast, we produce new content on a weekly basis, all podcast platforms and YouTube, of course. We'll also have some one-off interviews. I actually conducted one last night, which was funny and chaotic, and I think you guys might enjoy it. It was. We were already talking. There's going to be a part 2, maybe a part 3. Just because we didn't even scratch the surface yet. So I'm excited, and,
yes.
And I hope you listen to it and check it out, all of you. It's going to be something special. That one may be coming your way next week, but we'll definitely let you know. At any rate, if you like the Mark Mo Show, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Feel free to engage us. Send us DMs, make any sort of comments you want on any of our pages. That would be fantastic. And if you like this show, check out my radio show, After Hours. It is on a local radio station here in Indiana, middle of the country, Valparaiso, Indiana. You can find the stream at WVLP.org, or you can find it at the TuneIn app, which is on your handheld device. I also hear you can yell at Alexa, and she will play it as well.
With kindness.
Do it with kindness. Yeah, don't be mean to her. I've known Alexa to whoop some ass.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
I've cursed out Siri a handful of times, and it's cathartic, but it never goes anywhere. Like, Siri's never like, oh, I'm sorry for being such a dog shit part of your telephone you paid $1,000 for. So, kind of one-sided.
Yep, I could see that. Well,
Yeah.
I yelled at Alexa once, and then I was sitting in my living room and looking, and Alexa's peeking around this tree out front of my house, and I don't need those problems. I know AI is like a thing, and it's just a matter of time before technology is trying to kill all of us.
Jeff Bezos branded ICBM headed your way. It's like, Alexa, no, cancel order.
Cancel order, Alexa. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're in for that world.
Grand.
And maybe we deserve it. I don't know.
Can't wait.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know if we deserve it, but
some do.
Yeah.
Some do for sure. Anyway, the radio show is 2 hours of uninterrupted Celtic punk, kind of like your Dropkick Murphy, your Tossers, your Flogging Molly, all that kind of good stuff. And then alt rock, which is your Glass Animals.
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys. We
Sure.
definitely play them on the show. Paramore, a whole bunch of bands like that. So check us out if you are local as well. That dials 103.1 FM. It's at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday nights and 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays. And let's talk about it. Aiden's shows. First, the Guys Being Dudes AK219, which is kind of on a hiatus right now. And your podcast, mostly gaming stuff,
True.
if not exclusively gaming stuff. Aiden, spelled the right way.
It's fantastic. It's just a good time. I'm not sure what the future of AK219 looks like. I reached out to my boy, the co-host, Kevin Boland.
After getting released from Stoner Stanley's trunk.
Right. And we're still not sure what the future of the show looks like. But Aiden spelled the right way on YouTube. It's got all the fun gaming content. You got fun games, bridge building games, horror games, indie games. Fun stuff.
Another new map one.
Yes, that came out yesterday for us, 2 days ago for you lovely listeners on my channel. It's a game called GeoGuessr, where you're essentially dropped in somewhere on Google Maps, and you have to suss out where you are in the world. Only this map is called a WTF world. So they find some of the weirdest Google Map locations you could possibly see, and you're just dropped in. You have to figure out where you are. It's tough, but it's hilarious.
That sounds like great content.
Yes.
Can't wait to check that out.
It is very fun. And I've got one coming out Saturday today, that is going to be very neat as well.
That's excellent.
So check it out if you're interested.
Definitely check it out. It's really great stuff. And I'm happy to have him here as part of the production and also the co-host. So pretty fun stuff. And, I think today we're going to do something a little different.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's what you get when you get a day off, right? The creative juices start flowing. So what we're going to do is we're going to perform a very brief play for you. And it is based on an actual movie. And so places, everyone.
Whoa.
Quiet on the set. Aiden will be playing the part of one Mr. Potter.
Oh, no.
I will be playing George Bailey. So I'm not doing the whole dialogue. Right. I can't do it. Right. I can't do that.
It'd be tough.
It would be tough to do that, and I don't even know what accent he has. That particular actor.
It's almost like a speech impediment, like the, what is his name, Porky Pig or something. Like, it's almost the same, but it's also, I don't know, it's East Coast. It's got to be East Coast.
It is, but I've been to New York. It's not New York, Brooklyn or Manhattan.
Right,
it's not.
right.
I've been to Boston. It's not Boston. I don't know, like Connecticut, Rhode Island.
I don't know what they sound like.
Not like Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah,
not
right.
like Jimmy Stewart. You're going to hit my car. What is that? What is that?
Where'd you learn that?
Right. I mean, I don't know. Gosh, I wish I knew.
Yeah. Kind of fun trivia, maybe.
Yeah, like if I ever hear another human being speak that way, I'm going
to
be like,
from?
dude, where are you from? I need to know. I'd like some juicy fruit. Where are you from, sir?
It's like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Exactly. Okay, here we go. In character. All right, here we go. And action.
You see, if you shoot some pool with some employee here, you can come and borrow money. Where does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because of a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible ideas. Now I say...
Just a minute. Now hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny ante building alone, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else could say anything against his character because his whole life was, why, in 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy? He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Why, here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said, what'd you say a minute ago? They had to wait and save their money before they even ought to think of a decent home? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that they... do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter. This rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be. Thank you.
And scene.
And scene. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll be performing 3 nights a week at your local theater. God, I hope not.
Yeah, right.
So
I didn't know what accent to go for. I think you nailed it more than I did.
I tried. But see, a lot of times, and Aiden and I do this, we do Russian, we do French, we do a bunch of things just on the ham, right? It's not serious.
Yeah, it's easy to take over a stereotypical accent than try and pinpoint a character or
Correct.
a human being.
Yeah.
You know, it's like saying, hey, do the accent of your best friend's uncle. It's like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, do an impression of that person. What does that mean? It means nothing. It means nothing because it's difficult to do.
It is
It's difficult to nail. It's easy as, oi, can't I walking around here in Sydney, right? It's like, yeah, that's fine. It's stereotypical. It's tough to do a specific impression.
Well, right. When you do a read like this, staying in character is a really hard thing to do when it's not your natural voice.
Right.
So, like, once I started, I'm like, oh, shit. I'm going to have to do this for this whole monologue.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, can I do it? I think I held it pretty well.
I think you did.
I think I held it pretty well. I feel really good. But that's not why we did it. I mean, if we get an Emmy, we get an Emmy, right?
That's true. Easy dub.
I don't know if we qualify for an Emmy, but
We should qualify for 2.
maybe
One for each of us.
One for each of us. That's
Yeah.
fair. Maybe an NAB Marconi Radio Award.
Okay.
Maybe there's a podcasting one. Maybe is it called the Potty?
The potty.
The Potty.
I will take a potty right now.
I will. I just took a potty. As a matter of fact. I just really kind of warm. Whatever it is,
The studio will never recover.
it will never recover. But anyway, the reason for this reading and this presentation is that I attended a housing symposium here in Valparaiso, Indiana. I was at the City Hall. It was a wonderful mix of, developers and real estate agents and local politicians and rich people. More importantly, though, a good chunk of the public, which was nice to see them there and nice to, see them engaged. Anyway, everyone came really prepared to discuss affordable housing crisis in the Valparaiso area. In a nutshell, the median home price is $350,000. The home value is about $354,000. It's pretty close to even Steven.
For Midwest U.S. houses.
For Midwest USA. Now, to qualify for any of those homes, you have to, according to this presentation, make a minimum of $21 per hour, and that comes with minimal debt and excellent credit.
And not only the $21 per hour, you need, approximately 10% saved up for down?
Yes.
So you need to make $21 an hour and have $35,000
Just sitting around
in the bank.
Yeah.
Not your emergency fund, in the bank ready to spend.
Yes, correct. That is correct. Now, most people, especially those living, say, on the West Coast or in the northeast part of the United States, would think $350 is a bargain because their averages are much higher.
Right.
But in Northwest Indiana, it is a bit on the high side and makes the community of Valpo exclusive rather than inclusive.
Right.
Thousands working in and around Valpo work at factories, warehouses, big box stores, restaurants, bars, gas
Food
stations,
service,
foods and government jobs, nonprofits, schools, the university here in town. And a large majority of that workforce earns below the $21 requirement, some well below.
Right. And not only make below that amount, but have little to no savings for this, down payment that's supposed to come out of nowhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And if we're to take the lessons of the past and apply them to a modern-day problem, doesn't every working American deserve 4 walls and a bath?
Right.
Just like the George Bailey example. Bezos, Musk, Trump, they don't give a shit about people.
No, hell no.
But perhaps there are enough people with means and goodwill to help move the needle on this growing problem. Everyone talks a good game, but we know the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's going to take more than a room full of people that say, that's a really great idea. We need to do something about this. Well, I can say that.
Right.
But I don't have $2.5 million sitting in the bank that I can go, I wasn't doing anything with this. Let me throw this to a housing development project.
Right.
I don't have that. You don't have that.
Yeah, we don't have multi-million-dollar backing.
We're willing to support it and rah-rah it and whatever we can do on that end. But at the end of the day, money talks, bullshit walks.
Right.
And it's going to take people with means that are going to say, yep, I want to donate this.
Right.
As a goodwill, charitable donation towards this, then they can go take their tax write-off, if they even need it, because they don't get taxed anymore. But if they wanted to do a tax write-off on it, put that money towards something.
Sure.
Now, there's a gentleman who said they're working on a developmental district, some homes that they're going to build or whatever. Those homes are still $225 to $250. Now, if that is really truly the case, your mortgage rates are going to be less. But once again, if people don't have the down payment, they're going to have to put together some aggressive, like either no money down or like $2,500 down or $1,000. They're going to have to come up with some creative shit.
Right.
In order to get those people that work at Target, that work at Meijer, that work at Home Depot, they're going to have to really work some stuff.
Right.
To give them an opportunity to buy a house and still have them no greater than 33% of what their monthly take-home is.
Right. Because wages are half of the issue. Wages have been down for decades and continue to stay down. And that's a major issue.
Yes.
Problem number 2 is the fact that most working Americans, most working class Americans, do not have a savings account.
Nope.
Let alone a savings account with 1 comma or 5 digits.
Oh,
period.
It's unheard of. It's unheard of.
Sure, it may be like, there may be some highbrow, high horse developers like, oh, we're building, we're doing the Lord's work. We're doing low income housing. But you're still charging $225.
Yeah.
With mortgage rates today, you're still expecting an individual to have a monthly income that rivals that mortgage payment of $1,200. You're expecting them to have over $20,000 saved for your down payment. That doesn't exist.
Correct.
In this working economy, that doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. And it's really becoming a problem because, say, for example, you have, I don't know, say there's a woman who's a teacher's aide, or say there's a widower that has to work at Home Depot part-time in order to pay his bills, or a single mom of 2 who's an assistant manager over at the Target or something along those lines. And they want to live in the town they work in, and they can't because there's just no housing and certainly no rent. Because of the housing prices that have stayed steady and even gone up a little bit, do you think rent's going to come down?
Hell no.
Rent's not going to come down. They're going to stay high. They were even saying, like, for a 1-bedroom, like $1,200 is what you're looking at for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And they can charge it because they know those people don't have money down for a house.
Right. Or don't have the credit. Yeah.
Yep. So they are going to charge them through the nose for some little shit place.
Yeah.
And so that's incredibly unfair to them as well. So what you need is that opportunity for people to buy. But they can't, so what are they going to do? Now, this is a local example for all of you folks that listen outside of the Midwest or Indiana, where we're from. So in our community of Valparaiso, town of about 36,000 people, however big we are, there are much smaller communities around us. A La Crosse, a Couts, a Wanata. Yeah, these are the communities they have to live in.
Right.
And that doesn't always mean it's going to be that much cheaper. It'll be a little bit cheaper.
But you're spending the difference on fuel and
to get
car
to work.
repairs. Right.
So it's just, it's really bad. Another part of the conversation was also about state and or federal funding for different projects. But here's the thing. There's only so much funds available to so many projects.
Right.
That it is like finding a needle in a haystack.
Right. And at that point, if you're requesting those type of funds, you're simply employing the methods of socialism where, the government funded by taxes will provide for the populace. The only difference is that all the money still gets funneled to the 1%.
Yes.
That's
correct.
the difference.
That's
is
the
instead
difference.
of a true socialism where fully tax money gets reinvested into the community, infrastructure, housing, it gets invested into those simply directly to be funneled back into the 1%.
Yes.
Greedy landlords, greedy developers.
Yeah.
There are, I think the last time I saw this statistic, there are more than 10 million. I think somewhere between 10 and 20 million empty houses in the United States of America. There are less than 700,000 homeless people in this country.
Yep.
You could house every homeless person in this country and still have 10 plus million houses to sell.
Yep. And a lot of those houses, especially ones that have been foreclosed, that are owned by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, whoever owns them. And why not? Why not put someone in? And here's the funny thing. So many homeless people work. More
Right.
than you would think.
Right.
When we were in Seattle, a lot of those people up at that have jobs. Can't afford the rent.
Right.
When Alex is Aiden's sister, it's my daughter. She moved to Seattle. What she paid for a box blew my mind.
It's insane.
Now, she has a good job now, and she's with a nice dude that also has a job. So they're able to manage in a little bit nicer place. Her place was nice. It was just small. It was just a box.
Right.
But that, like New York, Seattle, San Francisco, there are people paying $1,500, $2,000 for a box.
Right. A studio.
A studio. Literally like a loft bed, and under the loft bed is the stove and the sink and the fridge.
Right,
And it's like,
right.
what the shit? Some of these places don't have a window.
Yeah.
It's stunning. It really blows my mind. So something has to be done. There's also guys, I read about a guy in Texas and some guy in California where they have like these little micro home communities where it's like these small cabins that literally have living room, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. Small little cabins.
Right.
And
You're talking a couple hundred square feet.
Right. And there's no way in hell that's $225 or $250 like this guy in
No.
Valpo was saying.
Hell no.
That's a shit ton cheaper. And by the way, I should mention this. I didn't work directly with this organization, kind of indirectly, because when I was involved in the radio station, I was the chairman of the board there on 2 different occasions. And the parent group over us, who had the nonprofit, they are affordable housing nonprofit.
Right.
And so they have these communities, but they manage ownership over the properties. This guy's talking about selling. So who's to say I got this $225,000 place. I sit on it for 1 or 2 years. I wait for rates to get a little bit better. Tell me not every single person in there is going to get the hell out.
Right.
They're going to take $270, $275. They're going to
Yep.
make their money,
Yep.
and they're going to split and get a better place.
Some private equity firm is going to buy every single one of those and rent them.
And right. And so the affordable housing, once again, is gone.
Disappears. Right. And then what we're left with a working class returning to the fucking peasant slums.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We give the same 40 hours a week. We give the same 40 hours a week that white Americans gave in the 1940s and 50s, where they were prosperous.
Yes.
Prosperous. There's a reason that in the show The Simpsons, it made sense for one working parent to work 40 hours a week and afford a multiple bedroom, multiple bathroom house with a 2-car garage. It's because that amount of wealth was still within the working class.
Yep.
That's why that show made sense. That couldn't exist.
Uh-uh.
There is not a millennial or Gen Z individual that knows what the fuck that's like.
Oh, there's no way.
And I don't know if majority is the right word, but a really large handful of Gen X is in the same boat.
Oh, 100%.
All of that money is in the boomers' hands. All of that money is in the 1%ers' hands. And we're qualming with developers and realtors about affordable housing. I hate to sound negative about it, but it seems fucking senseless. Because in my mind, it's such a large issue, and I don't know how to take it. besides be angry and hope for the eventual revolution.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the ultimate solution is here, but I just know that, first off, having the conversation is fine.
Right.
Mind you, there are several politicians that used verbiage that I've been using for several months, communicating with them, so I'm pretty sure they're stealing my shit. Just going to come out and say it.
Right.
Especially when I was talking about wants and needs and being a politician and being able to differentiate between the two.
Sure.
Making the best decision for your constituency. And all of a sudden, they're using the same lingo I am. I'm like, oh, how about that? Isn't that
Curious.
something?
Yeah.
So I kind of kept my mouth shut last night. I'm like, nope, I'm not giving them stuff they can
Yeah.
use. I'm like, no way. I'm like, elect me to something,
Right,
then I'll start
right.
talking again. But
Yeah.
it's
Fuck you, pay me.
fuck you, pay me. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. But having the conversation is fine. But once again, it's like protesting. And I had this conversation with a friend of ours, Hannah. And we had conversations like, I'm getting kind of tired of it. And I'm like, I am too. I mean, I get it. And it's our right under the Constitution. And I get that. Hold your sign, shout, whatever you're out there for. But at some point, and I propose this, I'm like, what's next? We could sit out here and yell for
Right.
4 years.
Right.
What's next? Because there has to be like a step B and a step C and D and all of that. And if we're just going to keep doing, nothing's going to happen.
Right.
And so I kind of feel this way with the whole housing thing. It's like, yes, let's have a conversation, but then what's next?
Yeah.
Because the $220,000 to $250,000 project thing, I don't think that goes anywhere, unless there are companies, nonprofits, whoever, that are actively going to manage multi-units that the average person, that someone making $15 an hour can get into
Right.
and call home.
Yeah.
Because right now we just don't have that. I know servers, I know bartenders, I know people that work in retail, and they one of two things. One, they live outside of Valpo and have to drive in, or number two, they live with mom and dad.
Right.
That's it.
It's the only way to be, right?
They can't do anything else. I know 3 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right. That's common too. It's becoming too common.
It's becoming too common, and it's rather unfortunate.
Right.
Yeah, so it's to a point where there just doesn't seem to be a good solution. I think there probably are solutions. Maybe there's just people not having the right conversations yet.
Oh, I would agree. Yeah.
Because I think they're still thinking that the problem exists in the over $20 an hour person, which I'm sure that exists too.
Sure.
No
Yeah.
question. But once again, if you were to eliminate all the jobs that could not afford housing, your town is shutting down.
Right.
Nobody serving, nobody cooking.
If there is no Wanata and DeMott and Couts
Right.
and South Haven, there is no Valparaiso.
True.
Because the poor working class keeps Valparaiso existing.
Correct. Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
And if affordable housing disappears in those areas, Valparaiso becomes the next Gary. Because
could very well.
capitalism destroyed Gary. Capitalism's destroyed half of Griffith. Detroit? There are endless examples. And unless you realize, hey, what's the poison? Could it be capitalism? Hey, fucking maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it is. So unless you really get social programs going on a government level, there is zero capitalists. There are zero capitalists that will change this. And I stand by that 100%.
They're not interested. It's
all about making money.
all about making money, and
Where's the money come from? The working class.
I'll go as far as to say that I am a Gen Xer, so a lot of my formative years were in the 1980s. And actually the entire decade, were led by the conservatives, the Republican Party. So it was 2 terms of Reagan and 1 of H.W. Bush. And so in living in that and being taught that, trickle-down economics is the right way to do it.
Right.
We're going to make sure that the rich continue to get richer because then that money is going to trickle down to you.
Right.
But here's the trick about rich people. Rich people are rich, and they stay rich because they keep their money.
And they become richer.
And they become richer.
Because they keep your money.
Right. And so if they're like, oh, with these tax breaks, these bonuses, and all, wow, I'm going to make an extra $30 million this year. Hey, sir, I think it would be a great idea to share that with the middle management and the workers. And they'd get a hearty laugh.
Right.
Oh, you're so silly. And instead, they've got their golden parachute and a new yacht and a nice car.
It's the same propaganda points. Oh, well, they should just get a better job. They should be a little more money responsible. No,
bullshit.
That's not the case.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. So all of that is a problem. And it all relates to the housing issue.
Right.
So they have to have a much bigger conversation. It's one I don't think they're interested in really having. It'll be interesting. I want to go to the next meeting, but then they were saying something along the lines of this second meeting in town was going to be an invitation only.
Oh, interesting how that works.
They don't want the public.
They don't want the pores.
Even though this is designed for the public, they don't want the public attending and being a part of it.
Yeah.
That is something. That is really something special. And I'll tell you, there are some people in power in town, both politically and just economically, where that does not surprise me.
Right.
But there are some that are quote unquote trying to work for the other half of the folks, and I don't see it.
No.
I don't see it in the results. I don't see it in the movement forward. I don't know. I'm not sure how this is going to work for moving forward, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
No, I'm in the same boat.
That's for sure. And I know this isn't exclusive to Valpo. We speak to it because this is a town we live in. But for people around the world, I'm sure your economics probably differ somewhat, if not entirely, from what we do.
But so much of local and regional politics, nationally and internationally, have this same issue.
Same issue.
And that's a massive problem.
Yeah. But there are other cultures, other countries where people are housed. That if you are a working adult and you are putting in a full time, you are guaranteed a home.
Right.
We will work with you. We're going to figure it out. And there's not enough programs like that here to do that.
Clearly.
Even though we have the homes, as you mentioned.
Yep.
And if we don't have the homes around Valpo, we got the land. It's very easy to put one of those little cottage or one of those cubes, or like people take these shipping containers and turn them into these cool little houses. There are so many options. And it just takes somebody with the guts to say, yep, I'm going to back that. There was one guy last night that even said it's like this crazy amount of money. It's like over $100,000 to build half a street with concrete and all the stuff that it takes to do it. And it's staggering. So it's like, so if you were to build a 4 to 6 block community, so you're into it for $1 million for the road.
Right.
Okay, who's ponying it up?
Yeah.
Not me.
Right.
You say, well, and then take it from the taxpayer. Well, there's taxpayer-funded things here. They're giving tax money to the university. The university's a private university.
Right. No reason to do that.
None. Oh, we're the university and we're struggling. That's kind of on you, homie.
Right. You're a private university. Any private business that struggles either fucking closes, or they sells to someone else. If you can't make it, why the fuck are you subsidized by the government?
You know who doesn't beg for money? Loyola University of Chicago, with the greatest endowment of almost any university in this country. They have more money. So when they want to build a building, guess what they do? They build the building.
Right.
They don't sit there and beg taxpayers, the city of Chicago. They don't do any of that shit. If they want a piece of land, they show up with a check.
Yep,
this is what we want. And here's Valpo with their hands out. They just sold all their fucking art.
Yeah.
How embarrassing is that? And now they want taxpayer money?
Hell no.
I don't understand it. Like, if I were on that council, I would point to the door and tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
You are a private university. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Sorry, you are your own business.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. You need to fix your shit.
Yeah.
And if you can no longer run that university, call the Jesuits, call Notre Dame, call somebody else to come in and take over the university.
Yeah. You're a private business.
Yeah.
If you fail, guess what? You should fail.
You should fail. No doubt. 100%.
Period.
And then people be like, oh, well, then people will be out of work. Well, people decided to work there.
Right.
And guess what? I've worked for a place. It went out of business. I could whine and cry about it all day long. It happens.
Right, but does that mean the government should subsidize that business just because they're failing? Absolutely not.
Nope, just like they shouldn't have bailed out the banks back in the mid-2000s.
Period.
They should have let them fail. And then people that did creepy, bad shit should have gone to prison, and that didn't happen either.
Classy.
But
that's America, baby.
That's America. So, we went off the road a little bit, but in a way, it all it's interconnected.
Yep.
It's all interconnected. And I know there are a lot of communities in the United States, and like I said, probably internationally too. I'm just not up on the housing issues or issues involving business and how that affects their people.
I know Canada's bad. I know UK is bad. I know Ireland's rough. But that's capitalism. Capitalism's a plague. It's taking over. Hey, it's affecting everyone equally, it seems.
Right. And the whole thing, like, look, if you're in business, I get it. You want to make money because you're in business. That's why you decided to do it. Number one, you love what you do. Number two, you want to make money. I get it. I'd want to do the same thing. But here's the thing. If I'm making hundreds of millions of dollars, or like you think of BP or you think of Shell or all these petroleum companies and their quarterly profits are disgusting.
Right.
And then they have a platform out in the Gulf of Mexico that blows up because all the equipment was old and outdated.
Who pays to fix it?
What did you just do with all those quarterly profits? Shouldn't you put that back into your...
Right.
I don't know.
No. And it makes you wonder, where is that money being extracted from?
Oh, yeah.
It's being extracted from the consumers,
Yes.
and it's being extracted from the working class that keeps those businesses alive.
Yeah. Yep. And what do? What do? Even though with their quarterly billion-dollar profits, what do? They go to the government and they lobby and they say, it'd be really great if we could have a zero tax rate.
Right. Oh, could we
well,
not
fuck,
pay
who's going to make
taxes?
that up then? We are.
Right.
Nope.
And if we don't, it gets added to the deficit for
Yeah.
us to deal with later.
Yep. Yeah, that really sucks. But that's it. As always, please feel free to make comments if you want. There's got to be a better path forward. I'm going to stay on top of this housing thing because, like I said, maybe a little bit different one way or the other where you're at, but I know it is a problem everywhere. So I'm going to stay up on that. I'm just going to stay up on political corruption in general because, we had that thing with the eminent domain and then trying to put data centers near where people live. I mean, it's almost out of control. Like they feel that they're so empowered they can just do whatever the fuck they want. Well, I'm here to tell you they can't.
Right.
And the power of the people should win. Like I said, money-wise, there's nothing we can do. There's absolutely nothing we can do. But we can do everything else.
Right.
So we should try, and we should make noise, and we should attend meetings, and try to move the needle on a few things.
Right.
And we'll see where this ends up going. But I've always said, if people are here and they're working, I don't care if they're making $12 an hour or $20 an hour or whatever. If they're working a full-time job, they should have a fucking home.
Right.
And I think it's embarrassing to have people that are working jobs, 4 people in a 2-bedroom, or they're living with their parents, or other some cohabitation going on.
Can't afford to live where you work.
Right. Yep, that's got to end. It's got to end. So I'll keep you updated on things that are happening here. And I always say, feel free to engage, comment, all that kind of good stuff. And if you have things going on in your community, let me know. I'm happy to look into it and to research. I'm not in your community, but I know how to read. So
yes.
I'll definitely be happy to check that out and put a spotlight on your community if it's needed.
Absolutely.
All right. After this quick break, Carpe Diem on the Mark Mo Show. All right, we are back on the Mark Mo Show podcast. I'm Mark Maloney along with Aidan Maloney, and that was a spicy beginning to the show. Well, first of all, you caught an Academy Award-winning performance.
You're welcome.
To be fair.
Yeah.
But then we had kind of a spicy conversation, so I think from week to week we might keep that going a little bit.
I mean, it's just
I'd rather have fun than have nonsense, but
sometimes it's fitting.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to say the tough stuff, Yeah,
it would be disingenuous to not share feelings like that,
Yep. Yep.
Is that fair to say?
That is definitely fair to say. But we'll, as I said, we'll keep you guys updated on all that kind of stuff because it's important. It's very important, and I feel like a little bit every day we tend to kind of just lose the identity of what this country's supposed to be. So, hopefully we'll find our way out.
Right.
But
no kidding. Hey.
We'll see. I've seen movies like this. They don't always turn out really great.
Right.
So, well, we'll see how that goes.
If it leans dystopian and it sounds dystopian, it might be dystopian.
It might be dystopian. Absolutely. But we're on to Carpe Diem. That is, you find folks sending us your DMs, and then we read them on the air. If you have questions, we answer them. I mean, if we want.
If we choose. If we desire such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're not obligated.
Not at all.
I mean, we can do it, or we can not.
You could attempt to bribe us.
You could. There's a lot of things you can do. We'll take your sweat pills.
Yeah, just like, let's role play. You be the lobbyist.
Yeah.
We'll be the politician. You give us money, we might vote on the bill you're interested in.
We might not.
Which just happens to be legal for some fucking reason.
I know. So,
give it a shot. Maybe you'll get your question answered.
Give it a shot. Yeah, it's
right.
It's like Vegas, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Roll the dice and see what happens. But anyway, people send their messages. We read them on the air, and we have a good time with it if we can. And sometimes we get some really good questions, so we're actually going to read them. And I'm going to start out with at Stinky McGee.
Oh, my man.
Sup, Mark Mo Show. Would you rather have a completely loyal, somewhat average-looking significant other, or one that looks like a supermodel but isn't always necessarily faithful?
Loyalty above all,
Yeah.
If you're that deluded or shallow to desire that, in air quotes, trophy wife or trophy partner, it's first and foremost, that's on you. You do you, whatever. It's not me.
Right.
That's not me. Loyalty above all, looks come second to personality and kindness and humor, things of that sort. So definitely the former for me.
For me, in case, ladies and gentlemen, in case you are not aware, maybe you're completely new to this. If so, hi.
Hello.
I am kind of a low-level menace. And that being the case, and the fact that humanity has let me down more times than I can count in the past 2 years.
Sure.
So, I'm a bit jaded, maybe.
2 years?
Okay, to be fair, more than that. More than that. It's been a rough decade. There's no question. Aiden knows I was trying to be kind, but yeah. It's one of those things where, if there is a corner in the room, my pinky toe will find it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that decade. But at any rate, I'm not here to bitch about it, but I'm just saying, in this particular question, maybe I'm not looking for that faithful, loyal person, or average looking, whatever he said. But if I'm not going to be super serious about this thing anyway, why not have some arm candy and have some fun?
Sure.
And if they go and do something else, I don't care.
It's one of those things, I guess that's like I was saying with personal touch, personal taste.
Yeah.
If you're not super serious, then they're not super serious, and it's just, it could just be fun on the side or something.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong
Friends
with
of
that
Benny's.
either.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that either. It's just not up my alley.
Yep. Yeah, I may take that last one just because when I hear something like loyal, I have,
Qualms?
I do. I don't, like I said, I have questions about humanity these days. And
me too.
and I know. I just feel that people, genuine people, loyal people, I think it's in short supply these days. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just happen to be super unlucky the last 10 years.
Right.
Or I'm not.
Yeah, there are statistical anomalies out there. That does happen.
It does happen.
Part of statistics.
It does happen. But at any rate,
chances are
we're going to do that last one. At Child of the Corn.
Oh, no.
I grew up on a farm in central Indiana, and the movie Children of the Corn fucked me up for a long time. Is there any horror movie that really messed with your brain?
Oh, man. When I was a wee lad, I watched Paranormal Activity. probably watched it too young, but that I had to have been a tween or an early teen, and after watching that, I slept with a nightlight on for a couple weeks. So that was probably just a timing issue. I watched that one too early. I think the more recent one was when I watched Insidious for the first time.
That's pretty terrifying.
That one kind of fucked me up. Just I don't know. It's some kind of ethereal. I don't know if omnipotence the right word, but that type of boogeyman that can turn,
Sure,
recorded film or art into real life horror in a horror movie. Such a cool concept. That one kind of fucked with my brain for a little while. I think one of the ones I most enjoyed recently was a movie called Talk to Me, an Australian horror movie. I think we talked about a couple times.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That one I really enjoyed. I thought that was fantastic, but yeah, if I'm thinking about ones that mess with my brain, it's got to be Paranormal Activity when I was a wee lad and Insidious. Insidious 2 was fucked up also.
Those are both really good. For me, I grew up in the southwest side of Chicago, so I was a long time Chicagoan before I came here to Indiana. And for whatever reason, the woods have always been a thing for me.
Oh, sure.
Now, don't get me wrong, I love nature. I think Montana and Wyoming in the United States
Beautiful.
are just beautiful. I love it. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Washington. I love it all. It's really great. I'm not a fan of the woods.
Sure. It's a fair point to make.
I got lost in the woods with your sister once, and
yeah.
I thought I was going to get mauled by a bear.
It's a fun story.
It's definitely a good story.
In hindsight, it's a fun story.
In hindsight, it's a fun story. When you're running through the woods going, no snakes, no bears,
Yeah.
that's like half funny, half terrifying.
Right.
So, yeah, I've never been a fan. And when I saw the movie Blair Witch Project...
Oh, there you go.
The way they did it seemed so real. Like there was this group doing a documentary, but it was so terrifying, and their level of terror and confusion just slowly increased throughout the film.
Right.
To the point where you're getting near the end and people are missing and she's frantic, and we sat 3 rows from the front of the screen.
Oh, that's good.
So we were just
That's
like
good.
in it, and terrified the hell out of me. I had chills like numerous times throughout the show.
And that's one of those first of its kind horror movies.
I think so.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's one that kind of holds its own.
Right.
Another one that did it for me was Halloween. I was a young lad when I saw Halloween, and so I would think about like being a kid at grade school, and I'd be walking home from school, and it's a cloudy day.
Oh, yeah,
and
there
of course
you
it gets
go.
dark at 4:30. And it's like you're walking home from school, it's like 3, so it's kind of sort of dark, it's cloudy, and the wind
Becoming
is blowing,
dusk.
and
Yeah.
you just feel like somebody's watching you,
Yep.
and you're kind of looking around corners, and then you get freaked out and run home. It's just, it was crazy. So I think those 2 movies for me, for
That's
sure.
good. That's good.
At Sox Fan Jerry.
Oh, man, dude.
Jer, are they getting better, or am I delusional? I have come in from the ledge, but my family still worries. I don't know if I should cry or sleep. Sometimes I do both.
First of all, I don't blame you. Secondly, I wouldn't live near a ledge. Thirdly, at least you're not the Rockies this year, hey?
Right.
At least you're not the Rockies this year.
Right. And they've got mountains to jump from.
Yeah, exactly. That's rough.
Yeah, they're a short ride
That's
from
rough.
saying, hey, Estes Park, how far can I jump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, Jerry, is it doesn't matter how far you're down. You're moving a little bit up, all right? Yeah, aren't you?
Even if it's second worst, it's not worst
exactly.
worst.
Exactly. If you're worst twice in a row, then hey, maybe that ledge sounds a little tasty,
It
right?
sounds a little tasty. It sounds a little tasty. Like, maybe that's a good option. Surely we jest.
Yes.
Sox still.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair.
As the Lord intends.
As the Lord intended. Stoner Stanley, 420 to wrap it up for me.
My man.
Momo and Alan have a happy day.
Thanks.
He wishes us that happy day. I like your show about the mules. I like mules. They are like horses, and they are like Kevin.
Okay.
Giddy up. Does he mean 40 acres and a mule?
I was going to say, I don't know what he's referencing, but that does make more sense.
Yeah.
He's a bit late to the party. I think that was last season.
He's probably got it on replay.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame him. It's one of our more popular episodes.
Yeah.
I keep it up, I guess, Stan. You know,
For sure.
if you get endless entertainment from re-listening to our shows, that's quite a fantastic sign, I would say. I don't know how familiar mules are with horses.
Or as he says, horses.
Horses. Yeah, they're both mammals, so you've got that going for you. I would just say keep up your middle school type learning, maybe. I mean, I'm always a big fan of legalizing that green, but if it deteriorates your brain that far,
take a break.
Yeah, I'm no doctor. Maybe take a tolerance break, though. Hey,
It might be a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe smell the flowers with a fresh nose for once.
Boy, you need something. That is for sure. That's my DMs. What do you got, Aiden?
I got a DM here from my boy at Mr. Ouchie.
Oh.
If I offer you $1,000 to push a button that breaks the toe of a random acquaintance, do you press it? If so, how many times do you? That's tough.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Based on Facebook, I've got about 842 Facebook friends.
So you are acquainted with them.
There are maybe somewhere between 20 and 30 that I communicate with on a regular or semi-regular basis.
Okay.
There are those I wish happy birthday to. I communicate with them maybe once or twice a year. If I can do that and not know who this is happening to, it could possibly happen to someone that I just don't communicate with. I would never know that they busted a toe.
They don't know it came from you.
And they don't know it came from me. I'm pressing it 5 times. I'm taking $5,000.
$5,000. That's pretty nice. Now
that's a vacay, man. With a long weekend to Vegas, baby.
Yep, exactly. You have some left over too.
And some left over, or more, depending how I do.
Exactly. Be smart about it. I like the offer. It might say something about me that I have a smaller acquaintance base and a smaller friend base than, of course, you have. I'd still be willing to press it, you know, especially in a place without universal health care. That broken toe might be pricey and uncomfortable for that individual. But hey, I've met a lot of people. I've become acquainted with a lot of people.
You have.
So maybe I'll also press it 5 or 10 times.
Oh, my God.
And just see what happens. I think maybe my morals might get the best of me. I might stop at just a couple. But even then, a couple grand is fantastic.
Still helps, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Buy a new set of 4 wheels for your car or something like that. So,
what do you do if you take it? You take the deal, you press it 10.
Right.
And then your mother calls you the next day. Goes, God damn it, I stubbed my toe.
Right,
broke my toe.
Oh, my God. What do you do? Right.
Do you feel like ass, or do you play it off and go, oh, no, sorry?
I think you do both. I think first and foremost, I feel like dog shit because I'm pretty sure I caused that.
Yeah.
Secondly, of course you play it off. Oh my God, what a terrible thing to happen. I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take accountability is the important question.
Yeah.
Like, hey, as some magical genie appeared, I pushed a button, he said it might break a toe of someone I know. Hell no, you don't.
Nope.
Hell no, because first of all, that's not believable. Secondly, It makes you seem as insane as a magical genie breaking someone's toe.
That's fair.
So no, you don't take accountability.
Yep.
I think you get a couple easy grand.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
At Hambone, our boy.
Hambone, what's up?
Would you rather? I love a would you rather. Would you rather work 1 day per month, but you make $6,000 monthly salary? Or you work a regular 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, but make a $40,000 per month salary. That's tough.
Ooh.
That's tough.
$6 grand?
$6,000 for 8 hours a month.
72.
Yeah. So you're talking a livable wage working 1 day a month. Otherwise, you actually become the 1% working a 9 to 5.
I'm taking the $6 grand.
I'm in the same boat. I'm so glad we agree.
I'm getting my freedom back. I'm going to wake up on a morning. I'm going to see a movie. I'm going to go walk in a park.
Exactly.
Have lunch with you. Like, that will be worth it.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, exactly. Because not only do you have $6,000 a month, which as of 2025 is a livable wage, you also have that extra 200 some odd hours per month. You get to feel like a human being.
Freedom.
You get to feel like a human being for fucking once in this.
Walk to a library and read a book.
Yes.
Go to the lake.
Just live. Just live. Make art. You know?
That's the thing too. It's like, and semi-related to this, like if you ever came into fuck you money, right? Whether it's through a will or through a lottery or however it happens, and you got a humongous chunk of money where you never have to work again.
Right.
And then people are like, oh, well, I'm going to always open that business I've wanted to.
Fuck no. Why would you choose to work?
Why? Why would you Why would you work? You put money in some investment and live your life.
Right.
Live your life.
Yeah. Invest in small business. Yeah.
Right. Invest in other people.
Yes.
Which is hard because I've had the thing with people lately. But I know the ones that
there
I like
are
and that I would
good
help.
people.
Yep.
There are good people. I also take the $6,000 monthly, working 1 day a week.
Yeah.
That's so freeing. And of course, like, oh, well, you could retire in a decade if you take the 40. Well, fuck that. Fuck that. Why would I have to retire if I only work 1 day a month?
And besides, they're just going to take more taxes from you anyway.
Right. Yeah, absolutely work 1 day a week. So freeing. Final Carpe Diem I got was from Dr. Face.
Oh.
Asking, what's a sign from your body you shouldn't ignore ever? The first one that comes to mind for me is tiredness, feeling sleepy. And I especially get this if I have like long drives or things like that, because it's so dangerous.
It is.
It's so dangerous. That type of fatigue is equivalent with driving while high on meth. You know, it's that same type of you're not aware.
Yeah.
Because your brain is literally that fatigued. You've got, slower reaction times or no reaction time.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would say fatigue and tiredness you should never ignore. And also thirst, because there are so many people, especially in this country, there's so many people that are just dehydrated.
Yep.
Just go out and drink water, man.
It's not hard.
Brita Fiddler's pretty cheap, even if you've got, dog shit tap water. Shout out Flint, Michigan. We never forget about you. But, yeah, I mean, just don't, try not to be thirsty. Try not to be tired if you can help it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So true.
Easier said than done, but that's my advice.
Yep.
It's the first two that come to mind.
Yeah. No, that's good. Being that I'm a little bit older and things are starting to slowly break, I think, I would say, just because it pertains to me, weight is a thing. You can't ignore weight, because when you get heavy, it tends to cause other health problems. So you want to kind of trim down. I just joined a gym. I used to be part of a gym. I went 5 days a week. I was really starting to get in pretty good shape. And then various things happened that kind of threw my health journey off track. But I'm still going to start to get that back on track. And so I think weight is something that's important. Your eyes are very important. I know for me, glaucoma runs in the family, cataracts, all that kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So, when I sit there and I look and I kind of start to see floaters already and things it's like, I know bad things are going to happen with my eyes, but if you notice that, or your pressure's high, or maybe you're not quite seeing like you used to, get your shit checked out, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Right.
There's nothing you can do to get it back.
Yeah. Better to help it now.
Yeah. Oh, for certain.
I think the same thing runs with ears and hearing too. Is like it's very easy to find massive subwoofers and loud music fun, and I do the same thing. I literally have this huge 12-inch 600-watt sub in my car. It's very fun, but you have to realize your hearing, as your sight, is also temporary, and you can't abuse it.
Yep.
You can't abuse that. So. My phone gives me little notifications like, hey, music too loud, or, loud environment, you should move away. So luckily I don't hit that often, but whenever I do, it makes me realize like, oh shit, I really shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
So I think both are disposable, and you should be cautious.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it for your DMs
That's
today?
it from me.
All right, that's it for the DMs. We have one thing coming before we take our next break, and that is the Other Foods with Aiden Maloney. And it's like, we're not talking hamburgers here, folks. We're not talking Chicago-style hot dog.
Although we wish.
Although we wish. I had an interesting conversation today with my friend John in Fluid.
Hey, yo, shout out John.
Shout out John. He listens to the show. We appreciate you. He was talking about a hot dog, and somebody was saying, because we're talking briefly about food and like Chicago things, and said something about him and a hot dog and ketchup. And me and my buddy Dave were like, huh? What?
Oh, no.
And so
Oh, no, John.
he's like, no. He's like, you guys don't understand. I have a hot dog with my ketchup. I'm like, no. I'm like, what are you I'm like, and so we're just beyond our... So I said,
right.
I said, John, you know where you need to go if that's how you like your hot dog? He goes, where?
Wiener Circle?
You need to go to the Wiener Circle and ask for that hot dog exactly the way you explained it, because those women will eat him alive, and that is not in a good way.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Jonathan, best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you, man, if that's where you go. You are, I don't know what God you pray to, but you better, dude.
Shit, stick to chili cheese dogs, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
The Other Foods. Something atypical, perhaps nasty. I found a short little sweet article from the homeboys at Disgusting Food Museum.
Ooh.
This is something out of South Korea called sanakji, I believe.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm pronouncing that okay. It's an octopus dish. Here's the thing. The octopus is killed just before serving and immediately sliced into smaller pieces. Since the nerves still have activity after death, the arms continue to move on the plate when eaten.
What?
Yeah. 2/3 of the nerves of the sanakji, are located in the arms, so they are capable of coordinating complex movements even after being severed from the brain. Here's where it gets fun.
Oh my God.
If not properly sliced, the octopus suction cups still have that same nervous system activity and can stick to the inside of the person's throat.
Oh no. What?
Fun stat for you. On average, 6 deaths per year occur to suffocation because of people eating this food dish.
No. What are you doing?
Quote, eating live octopus is rumored to be good for your blood sugar levels and contains high levels of energizing taurine, which, I mean, just fucking drink Red Bull, right?
Yeah.
Here's a little story they add. A woman stopped breathing after eating live octopus and died 16 days later. Her boyfriend had bought and served the octopus and was convicted for murder. Allegedly doing so for the insurance money he took out on her.
No frickin' way.
So, fun little stories, but I don't want to sound insensitive or ignorant. I'm just going to say, in my opinion, don't eat octopus shortly after it's been killed and cut.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah, that's sanakji for you. I really hope I'm getting the pronunciation close.
Yep.
So that's another food I would recommend avoiding unless you're very adventurous and have EMTs nearby.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it, and I think I would rather eat topsoil.
I mean, it kind of looks like kangaroo vomit, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, it looks like something that came out of a marsupial you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah, like if you were violently ill for weeks, like, what is wrong with me? And they cut open your stomach and they pull that out.
Right. It'd be like, oh, that's what caused it.
That's what caused it. He's got a sesame-covered worm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's disgusting.
Well, hey.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. 6 people die a year to it, so rest in peace to those 6 in 2025 that may or may not have happened yet.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah, that's right. If you die eating food, dude, why are you risking it?
No
Is it that tasty? Eat it cooked, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
That's nasty. Well, on that note, I think I need to go vom. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with a very fun, internationally flavored You Just Made the List. All right, everybody, we are back. Mark Moe Show, the podcast you need to listen to. I don't know, we haven't come up with the tagline yet. We're going to throw around some ideas.
The Mark Moe Show. We're going to fucking kill you today.
The Mark Moe Show. Your life may just depend on it.
The Mark Moe Show. What's your soch?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. The Mark Moe Show. We are that Nigerian king. We'll throw some ideas out
exactly.
there.
We just need a little loan, and then you'll get 10 million.
It's fine.
It's easy.
It's completely fine. We've got the box here with your name on it.
Yeah, we've got your mother in the corner.
You have to pay it and release it. It's good.
Fair.
So, if you guys have any ideas for some taglines, let us know. We're all for it. We're throwing something against a wall. We're gonna see what sticks. Aiden, get your sock off the wall.
What?
What?
That's American cheese,
That's
actually.
not my sock. That's Kevin's. Anyway.
I knew Kevin left a stank in here. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's it. That's his special sock. Anyway, listen to the Mark Moe Show. It's your special sock.
The special sock of your eardrums, I guess.
Sure. I'd buy that for $1.
Condom your ears before we fuck you with this entertainment.
Hey, there you go. That might be it. Anyway, we are just. It's a crazy show. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're just off the rails today, but I think you guys prefer that. So we're just gonna keep rolling with it.
Why wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we? That's a great question.
It's a fair point.
It's a fair point.
Mark Moe Show. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, that could be the winner.
There we go.
Why wouldn't we? We do it all and more. You just made the list. That's what's up next. It's our top 10 list, 10 to 2 with our big number 1 reveal. And list of rules.
Oh, what's the rules again?
Hang on, let me look through this. Only rule. No rules.
Yo, I love that for us.
That's a great non-rule rule.
Because as the slogan goes, why wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
See, that might work.
Clutch.
It's
kind of clutch.
It is. I rather enjoy that. So today's You Just Made the List. We got done doing some American cities not too long ago, and we did that with a tier list. So I thought, why not a top 10 to talk about some of our favorite international cities? We've been looking at our stats, I think, since we've started. Upwards of, 25, 26 countries, something like that.
True.
Have checked into the show at a time or two. We appreciate each and every one of you and all the ones that we don't have on board yet, and we hope to get you guys there. What's up, Curacao? They've really been big on the board lately. We appreciate you guys.
Can't wait to land Latvia.
Yes.
How fun would Latvian listeners be?
Yeah, Luxembourg, where you at?
Yeah.
I need to know that.
Have we had Swiss listeners yet?
I don't think so.
We should.
We definitely need the Swiss because they're neutral, and that might be where we end up having to
go.
go.
Exactly.
That might have to be our destination. So, we want to get the Swiss on the board for sure. But these are some of our favorite international cities. And Aiden, why don't you take the lead on this one?
I will take the lead on this one. So I've got a couple honorable mentions because, as we said, no rules. And then I'll run 10 through 2, save my numero uno.
Beautiful.
As the big reveal. So my honorable mentions. It's going to be Adelaide, Australia.
Ooh, okay.
Very fun. Kyoto, Japan. Berlin, Germany, of course.
Okay.
Seoul, South Korea. Shanghai, China.
Ooh.
Singapore.
Shanghai's good.
Yeah.
Singapore, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my honorable mentions. Now we get into the meat and potatoes.
We do get into the meat and potatoes.
Number 10. I know in some circles, including mine, this is sacrilege, but I think it would still be fascinating. London, England.
Oh, sure.
I think it would be really, really fun to travel there. Number 9, Edinburgh, Scotland. Just so cool.
I missed that one. Cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Number 8, I want to go here. Like, the rest of these I'm really hype about. Of course, all of them I'm hype about. But Prague, Czech Republic. Prague, Czechia would be so cool.
It's a good one.
So cool. Number 7, Paris, France. I know I always shit on the French, but I talk highly about, like, French countrysides and the
Wine
history.
and champagne and food and bread and all that stuff.
You can keep the snails and shit, but
I don't want any of that.
the rest of the food sounds great.
Escargot away.
Yeah, or exactly. Number 6 on my list, Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Oh, another good one.
Sounds beautiful.
Yep.
Number 5, Sydney, Australia. Would be so cool to see. So cool to see. Number 4 is Tokyo, Japan. Man, with all them cherry blossoms and that.
I just want to go to the Nintendo World Headquarters. I don't think I'd ever leave.
Yeah. What's it? Mount Fuji, I think?
Mount Fuji, yep.
Dude.
Not going to Suicide Forest, though.
No, I think I'll avoid that.
That's a skip.
That didn't work out for Logan Paul.
Well, he's still around, so...
Right. All you have to be is white and rich.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Rome, Italy. The history there is fantastic, and I just think it'd be fascinating. Number 2...
Home of the Pope.
Da Pope. The first Bears fan Pope. Number 2 on my list, I'll save my number 1. Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
That's another good one.
So Barcelona's my number 2.
Yeah, I like your selections. Maybe even more than mine. But we're going to start with my honorable mentions. I got a few on there. Madrid, Spain is on there, in addition to Sao Paulo.
I was thinking Brazil.
Yeah, Sao Paulo.
I was thinking Brazil.
I think would be amazing. And then Berlin.
Yeah, there
is
you
on
go.
there as well.
There
Our
you
German
go.
roots, and I think it's just a great international city. It's like I just want to go to Berlin for like a week and just read in a coffee shop.
Right. Yeah.
And like at night go to like a beer house.
Big Steins.
That's the shit.
Yep.
Number 10, Wilmstad in Curacao.
Oh yes. Get the blue Curacao.
Yeah, baby.
Give me your triple sec.
People might say I'm playing favorites because you guys listen to our show and we love you. Well, we did some research and we pulled up pics.
It looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful. I'm like,
Yes.
why would I not want to go there? So
I believe an island country.
it is.
Yeah.
It's an island country and they get so little rain and like sun almost every day.
Beautiful.
So I'm down.
Beautiful.
Number 9, Seoul, Korea.
There you go. There you go.
Number 8, another country with some listenership here on the Mark Mo Show, Moscow.
Oh,
Now, I am not a Putin fan, but I am a fan of the people and the culture.
the history.
And the history.
Holy, that's
Like,
a good addition.
It is.
That's
I think
a great addition.
I had a friend before Putin, and like just that middle time when Moscow was trying to figure out democracy, and she went with like a school trip, and she said it was just a beautiful place, and
I'm
the people
sure.
were so hospitable.
Kind, I'm sure.
They were, yeah. So
That's a good addition.
if things ever change there, it'd be a really cool place to go, I think. Number 7, Rome.
There you go.
Number 6, Paris.
Yep.
Once again, got issues with the French people sometimes, but I think that's just who they are.
I think more
and I think they're that way to everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's,
To be fair.
it's from everything I've heard, most French people in major cities are more assholes to terrorists, or pardon me, not terrorists. We're all assholes to terrorists, as we
yes,
should be.
hopeful.
Tourists. Whereas if you go to the French countryside, it's less so.
Yeah.
But I kind of get it. Because most Western tourists are menaces.
Yeah.
Dickish menaces.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't blame them.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, you can't live your life generalizing people like that. That's not fair to them. It's not fair to yourself.
But there's a reason the French love the Irish when they come visit.
Exactly.
Because the Irish are really nice, fun people.
Yes. Yeah. So you get points.
Yeah.
That's why France made both of our lists, hey?
Yep, that's fair. Yeah. Number 5, London.
There you go.
Not based on the crown
Fuck
or
the crown.
the government, House of Commons, and they can all go fuck themselves.
House of cunts, really.
But the culture and all of that, I dig in Iron Maiden and The Who, and Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. I mean, you can't deny that. The Beatles.
Right.
It's so there's enough there.
The British working class have more in common than the with the Irish working class
Yes.
than the Crown has in common with anybody.
Correct. Yeah.
Period.
Yes, that is true. Number 4, Amsterdam.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll make it over to Europe. My idea was that if I ever went, I'm going. The first time I go, I'm spending like a week in Ireland because that's just what I want to do.
The first time I want to go, I want to move there.
Yeah, I want to move there, and then I go to Europe whenever the hell I want. So then I figured if I ever got to Europe, I'm doing it all in one shot, kind of like I did Washington, D.C., and my feet were blistering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got to see everything.
That's like the Euro Trail or whatever they
Eurail.
call it. Eurail.
Yep, Eurail.
There you go.
So you can hit Paris and Spain, and you can hit Rome and Berlin and all points in between.
Major cities, right.
Yep, you could definitely do that. Number 3, also Sydney.
Beautiful.
Sydney's beautiful. I would probably stay inside the city. I think there are too many things outside of it that would kill me.
Big spiders, kangaroos.
All of it.
Yeah, most of the Australian wildlife seems very deadly.
It does. Like, here in the United States, bird's a bird. Now, could a hawk mess with you? Sure, if it wanted to.
Sure.
But they're more interested in field mice, and they keep to themselves.
Yeah.
Eagle, you don't see them so frequently.
Nah.
It's not a big deal. They're not really predatory birds. I feel there are probably a half dozen or more birds that would fuck you up.
There's a
in
reason
Australia.
there are the Great Emu Wars in Australia, and the Australians fucking lost.
And they lost.
To the birds.
To the birds, yep.
That just happens, dude. That just happens in Oz.
It's amusing because I don't have to live it. But at the same sense, like a week in Sydney, I think would be, or Perth or Adelaide, you just kind of get all that taken care of.
Brisbane, maybe.
Yep. I think being able to hit some of that, taking the culture, shrimps on the bobby.
Go to Bendigo for a weekend.
Yeah,
there
you go, buddy. Yeah, so that would definitely be on the to-do list. And number 2, Tokyo.
Beautiful.
And, I mean, you throw Kyoto in there if you want
Sure.
to, but Tokyo is definitely... It's kind of like what you wish American cities would aspire to be.
It's one of the largest cities in the world.
Clean and just technological and fun, and because there's so much American influence between those two countries, there's English in almost every establishment.
Sure.
And most people there can speak some form of it.
Right.
So as an American, you wouldn't go there and be like, oh, fuck. I mean, you'd probably go into business and they would be able to speak a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So that part. And from what I hear, most menus are in English and Japanese.
Yeah.
So it just is. So it doesn't seem like it'd be too intimidating. But like I said, being able to go to like the Nintendo headquarters and just do all that kind of stuff would want to go to one of those Japanese game shows live. I think would be hysterical.
Oh my God. Right.
Yeah, I just think like a week in Japan would be awesome.
It'd be fascinating.
Yep.
Our number ones?
And I haven't heard this. I honestly, I think we picked the same one.
Did we really?
I'm not going to lie because I haven't heard it from you yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard it from you yet.
So I'm...
okay.
We could have fun and try to...
On 3?
On 3.
On 3? Okay, so on 3 or after 3?
When you say 3, I'm going to say my city.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Dublin. Yeah, buddy.
Dublin,
let's fucking
Ireland.
go.
Dublin, Ireland. Holy shit.
Yeah, I had a
Let
feeling.
me move to you.
Yes. I have a friend. She was a professor at Stanford, and her and her husband are each getting their citizenship. Her in Poland, him in Ireland. And the great thing about getting citizenship in an EU country, it's like the Midwest. You can go wherever you want.
Right.
You can work wherever you want. And I'm like, wow, what freedom. Hey, freedom, that's what it looks like. How about that?
It must be nice.
It must be nice.
Must be nice.
So that is really appealing. I told her, I said, I just need to get a few personal things squared away. But like, I feel once I've got that under control and I get that taken care of, why wouldn't I go?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't I go?
There's zero reason not to.
Unless shit really hits the fan here, then I may need to speed that process up and deal with the rest of the shit later.
Yeah, or even make like Canada like a buffer country.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe. Yeah, that's for sure. No, I love Dublin. I love the whole country, of course. But Dublin, once again, is a city that is modernized yet still holds its history.
Yes.
I really love that.
There are pubs in Dublin older than the United States of America.
Yes, that is correct.
How fucking cool.
Brazen Head, I think, is maybe the oldest, 1649 or something.
Let's do some live research.
So we'll see if I'm correct on that one. But yeah, so Ireland is definitely on the to-do list. I think Dublin's just a great town. And once again, you have Scotland and England at your fingertips if you want to go there.
Sure.
It's very easy to do. And then once you get over to Europe, of course, Eurail and whatever else, it's just all very easy to get to. But having Ireland as a home base would be amazing. And, because they speak English, it would be a very easy adjustment.
It makes it pretty easy. It'd be kind of fun to see how our accents would adjust because we're so wholeheartedly Midwestern U.S. accent, there are times, because I edit my own YouTube videos, I edit these Mark Mosho podcasts, I will literally catch myself sounding like I am from Canada or Minnesota or something. I'm like, why do I say 1,000 like that? Like, I'll catch myself.
You betcha.
1,000. You bet. Like, why do I sound like this? And then I'm like, oh my God, what if I spent a decade in Ireland?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Well, people know what it was like when I had a consulting gig for this health organization. I was down in Florida. And
I think that's the first time I heard you say the word y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah.
And I did it just like it was so natural.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh man, it's so nice to see y'all. I'm glad you're down here. And I'm like,
what the oh my God. Like, you catch yourself like, oh no.
If I start wearing a cowboy hat and listening to Garth Brooks, please put a Glock to my brainstem. Right. Oh my God.
Where's the nearest Glock 19?
Yep. Oh yeah.
For that little research, Brazen Head, Ireland's oldest pub. In fact, the Hostelry has been there since 1198.
Oh my God, no way.
1198, and the present building was built in 1754.
Holy shit. That's awesome.
Beautiful. I would love to see it.
Oh, I would too. I want to have a beer in there.
I'd love to live above it.
Oh,
let me walk downstairs and grab a pint.
Absolutely.
Holy shit,
absolutely.
dude.
I will gladly room with
God.
that ghost, man.
Yo.
There's no question.
Check my ass in.
Oh, God, that sounds great. Well, per usual, if you have any cities that we missed, feel free to throw them at us in the soch, in the comments.
Yeah, I'm already thinking of like Canadian cities we missed. Vancouver, things like that.
Yeah,
I was thinking Canada too.
I was thinking Canada. I was thinking Toronto, but I really dislike the Maple Leafs, and so as Chicago-esque as Toronto is, I almost felt bad leaving them off, but their sports teams leave a lot to be desired.
Get better
so
teams.
I'm kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
It's very mid. And then you got Montreal, and Montreal is like North America's France.
Yeah, and we don't fuck with that.
No, not so much.
Because it's not Paris.
Right. Yeah. So maybe Vancouver.
Yeah, I was
because
thinking
we
Vancouver.
like the Pacific Northwest, so it probably has some
exactly
of that.
Right. Yeah, it's the POW of Canada.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. But anyway, we're going to get on to review preview. I review a movie and preview a movie. I saw Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Ethan Hunt and the IMF team race against time to find the entity, a rogue artificial intelligence that can destroy mankind. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, right.
The story ties together several storylines and characters from the past to finish the Ethan Hunt saga. The film stars Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Pom Clementif, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, and S.I. Morales. It's a wild ride, crazy stunts, and of course Tom Cruise running fast.
Which for being a 60-year-old is kind of nuts.
It's impressive.
Kind of nuts.
It's impressive. He does all his own stunts and he runs like a marathon guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. At any rate, they're always enjoyable films. This was an enjoyable film. So if you've seen the others, you're going to really like this one. 7-8 out of 10.
Solid.
It's a very, very solid score. Yeah, you will definitely enjoy it. My preview is one called 28 Years Later. It was a horror film franchise.
That's right. I heard about this, yeah.
Started with 28 Hours Later.
Yeah.
Went to 28 Weeks Later.
Yep.
And now we're at 28 years later. And so a group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected but other survivors. Film stars Jack O'Connell, Ray Fiennes, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Jodie Comer, and it hits theaters June 20th.
That's exciting. I've seen those trailers. It looks fun.
It does. It really looks fun. Gonna go check that out for sure.
Yes.
Always down for a horror movie.
You know, I agree. I agree. What blows my mind is something that crossed my brain a couple minutes ago when we were talking about Tom Cruise, is how much Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves have in common in far as them just solidifying themselves as the guy.
Oh, 100%.
But the main difference being Tom Cruise went into Scientology and Keanu Reeves didn't.
That's
like
it.
Keanu Reeves is such a likable human being, and then Tom Cruise is just like, I don't know if I like him, I don't know if I dislike him, like what do I do with these feelings?
I know I like his characters.
Sure.
That's fair. The type of person he is outside or away from films, I don't know. I've heard he's drifted from Scientology. Who knows?
Tough to say.
But we do know the type of dude that Keanu Reeves is.
He's a G.
Rides his motorcycle around.
Yeah.
He takes the subway places. He's just kind of like, he has a band.
He is that guy, pal. He
Yeah.
was in Cyberpunk.
That's
How
right.
cool.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And a movie coming out soon, Ballerina, which is
Yes.
part of the John Wick franchise. It's going to be, technically takes place between 3 and 4. So that's the timeline on it.
Exciting.
So that'll be good stuff for sure. But now we get into something called While You Were Sleeping. So it is either a game or could be a YouTuber, it could be a TV show, it could be a movie. Something that is kind of that sleeper hit, something went under the radar and we just all missed it. And Aiden does a great job every week of going, found it.
Gotti.
And lets us know. So what
Yes.
did we miss?
So in recent weeks, I've covered a lot of indie games. I've covered a couple movies, I think. This is an indie game, but unlike the ones I've covered in the recent months, this is free.
Oh, okay.
And there's a reason it's free. It's because it's, it's a sponsored video game, not by us, but by product placement. It's a dating simulator.
Oh, okay.
Called I Love You, Colonel Sanders.
What?
Yeah, we played it on AK219.
Oh,
if you remember.
Right.
I Love You, Colonel Sanders, the KFC dating simulator. It's a dating sim developed by the creators at PsyOp. Interesting how that works. The video game was commissioned by the restaurant chain KFC, released for free on Steam in 2019. That's right, this game is completely free. And honestly, even though you're technically being advertised KFC when you play it,
Yeah.
as far as free games go, it's one of the best developed, cleanest, solid storyline, fun, entertaining games I've ever played. And trust me, I'm not sponsored by KFC.
Well, for sure.
I wouldn't still be in Indiana if I was sponsored by KFC. Parody of conventional dating sims, the primary objective is of the player to develop a romantic relationship with a fictionalized version of KFC's founder, Colonel Sanders, portrayed as an attractive classmate at this cooking college. And I am, of course, getting these scripts from Wikipedia, if you're interested. The release of the game follows the reintroduction of Colonel Sanders into KFC's marketing campaigns in 2015. It's part of the company's strategy to, quote, make Colonel a part of pop culture.
Ooh, okay.
Which I guess kinda.
I mean, he kind of was anyway. Didn't the
He
Miz,
kinda- yeah.
like, he played Colonel Sanders one time and Chicken kicked his ass?
Dude was always a part of pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
Even when, like, that little gap when when the Colonel wasn't a part of KFC, which was kind of weird anyway. The game successfully received public attention due to the, quote, can you believe it premise, both before and after the game's release, which I find fascinating because I was in that crowd. I was a part of that, hey, I can't believe KFC made a dating simulator game. But at the same time, it's kind of a really good dating simulator game.
Yeah.
Like it's fairly linear, but But at the same time, you get multiple endings, and on top of that, it's free. You just have to deal with the fact that you get KFC sponsored stuff in there.
Yes.
It's so fun. And playing it with my boy Kevin on AK209 was super fun. But you could play it with anyone. You could play it alone. You could play it with your homie. You could play it with a stranger. I don't give a shit. It's just fun. And doing little voices for them was a really grand time. It's free, and it's good memories. And if you want a handful of hours of free entertainment, clowning on or clowning with KFC, go for it. I Love You, Colonel Sanders is a free PC game.
I love it. I'm going to try that out.
Yes.
I have to.
You have to. It's earned.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Yeah, it really looks like some sort of Japanimation or... Yeah, it's
like that,
like hentai or...
Yeah, it's that anime style.
The anime style, yeah. And like it's like, oh, that's Colonel Sanders. Like, nah. Colonel Sanders is a fat fuck that makes chicken.
Exactly.
This dude's kind of hot.
That's Colonel Sanders.
Hi, I'm Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
Would you like to see my drumstick?
I almost kind of regret having to see my drumstick. I almost kind of regret having Kevin voice Colonel Sanders, because God bless Kevin's soul. He's a good mate, but it's different. Like having Kevin voice Colonel Sanders than if you have like that deep sultry like, you like my chicken? I'll show you my cock. It's like, whoa,
hey,
Colonel,
where are we going? Wow,
it's like,
is that the number 5?
Right. I didn't request this in my bowl, but I'll take it.
Wow, that is the foot long and then some.
Yeah. Didn't know my mac and cheese came with a wiener. All right.
Hello.
But yeah, grand time.
That sounds great. That's awesome. Well, definitely check that out. And we're gonna take a quick break. We come back. We're gonna drink some beer. I mean, we may be drinking it already, but
we won't disclose that.
We won't disclose that. But what I will disclose is we're going to sample a new beer this week, and you can go on that ride with us. And also we'll finish up this week with the world of weird news coming at you. All right, we are back. We're in the home stretch of the Mark Mo Show podcast for this week. I'm your host, Mark Maloney, along with Ada Maloney. And this is a fun part of the show because we drink beer for science.
As we should.
As we should.
As we should. The official beer review.
Official.
Official. With a capital F.
Because the Mark Mo Show. There is no other.
There is no other. What was this tagline? I already forgot.
Yeah. We're going to have to listen back.
We'll find out in editing.
Yeah, we're going to have to in post.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out in post. The Mark Mo Show. We drink beer, which is true. It's a true statement. It's very true.
Yeah.
And that is the part we're on to, the beer review. And Aiden, care to tell the lovely folks out there what beer that we're drinking this week?
Absolutely. We've got an American brewski in front of us from none other than Bad Dad Brewing Company. This is a Pilsner we're trying today. Bad Dad is out of Fairmont, Indiana, the Hoosier State, which no one is really that proud of.
Fairmont, Indiana.
Regardless, the only good thing we have is a WNBA team. The Dude Abides.
The Dude Abides.
The Dude Abides is the name of the beer. It is the Pilsner that Bad Dad Brewing makes. 4.3% ABV. It is non-applicable on the International Bitters Unit, so they did not add one. We're going to try it here for you today. Rate it on a scale from 0 to 5, rather.
Okay.
And just let you know how it is.
Now, did you say that was Fairmount?
Fairmont, Indiana, yes.
Mount or Mount?
Fairmount.
Got it. Okay.
It's spelled Fairmount.
I wanted to see where it's at.
Yes. I believe it's pronounced Fairmont, but I think it's spelled Fairmount.
It's on Route 9, south of Marion, and it looks like it's maybe 25-30 minutes east of Kokomo.
Oh, okay. Kokomo's kind of a big town.
A tiny museum, a tiny city. The reason I said museum is because it came up on the map program. The James Dean Museum is located in Fairmount, Indiana.
James Dean, the man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend, deceased.
Yeah. Not related at all to Bad Dad Brewing. Nor Pilsners.
Mm-mm.
But it is fascinating trivia. If anyone asks you, hey, Bad Dad Brewing is near a museum of which popular figure, you will now know.
I have to show you guys will not see this. Maybe it's someday.
In the promo image or something?
If we start doing a few things more visual, we'll let you know. OnlyFans. I need to show Aiden this picture because this is a hero of his. This is in Fairmount.
Oh my goodness.
Indiana.
They have a Garfield. They have a Garfield statue outside of the James Dean Museum. What do Garfield and James Dean have in common?
Nothing.
They both start with the letter J. Jarfield.
Jarfield.
By the way, I don't know.
That's his cousin.
Yeah, exactly. Jarfield. I don't know if you've heard of this, but it must be a Gen Z thing, because I only heard of it recently. But you know that, like, jarred... sliced up garlic that you would put in Italian dishes, so you don't have to fuck with actually...
Garlic.
Yeah, garlic.
Uh-huh.
Garlic. I never knew the term garlic until recently, and I'm like, that's fascinating.
I follow a lot of online chef influencers.
Yeah, chef-fluencers.
And they kind of tongue-in-cheek refer to it as garlic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Very good. Well, we will be trying the Dude Abides today, rating it on a scale from 0 to 5 stars. And if you are enjoying a beverage at home, let us know what you're having and if it is bueno.
Absolutely, for sure.
The Dude Abides Pilsner.
All right, let's do this.
Slancha
Dude Abides.
Oh, she's smooth.
Oh.
She's smooth.
Hi, how are you? Where have you been all my life?
Introduce yourself formally, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello there.
I feel in such a way.
The Pilsner accents my mouth in such a way.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't want to break it down too far, but I'm not a huge Pilsner guy. I'm not a huge lager guy. I prefer red ales. I prefer stouts. I prefer Belgians. As far as Pilsners go, this is remarkably smooth and
there's
enjoyable.
Kind of a flavor there. There's a hint of something, and I'm not sure what I'm getting.
It's nearly fruity, nearly floral, but it's not forward, right? It tastes and feels like a Pilsner, and then afterwards you kind of get little hints.
You get some notes.
Little notes of something special at the end. You know, it's not quite rosewater, but there's something floral.
For sure.
You know?
I love the can. It has this caricature.
It's so styled. Yeah.
And there's bowling pins and a bowling ball. I love it.
What a reference, hey?
It's pretty great.
The Lebowski.
The Lebowski, yeah. That's really good.
I like that a lot. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big Pilsner guy, but on the scale of Pilsners, and of course this is a pricier Pilsner. I think for a pint, you buy a 4-pack at about $11 or $12.
Yeah.
Locally, it might be more expensive nationally because it's an Indiana beer and we're in Indiana. But you're talking, what, $3 a pint, give or take?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're buying a 4-pack. Is it worth the $3 a pint? Well, it depends how much you like Pilsner.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I enjoy this. I'm not a big Pilsner guy. So, to be fair to it, I'm going to give it a 3.25 out of 5.
Are you? Okay.
Because I enjoy it. It is this. I know we've mentioned it a couple times because we've had lighter beers for a couple weeks in a row, but this would be the beer you come in after like weed whacking on a hot summer day. And you're the Dude Abides. I'm cracking this, dude. If you're talking a shower beer after mowing the lawn, this is the shower beer after mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
You know, that's 3.25 out of 5.
That's a good score. That's a strong score. I went somewhere I normally don't go, and I pulled a 4.
You pulled a 4?
I pulled a 4.
Is that the first 4 on the show or the second?
There might have been one other one.
Might be the second.
There might be one other one. I did a 4. I don't think I've graded anything higher than that. This is just, it's clean.
Very smooth.
We've been, prior to this, we've been drinking this red ale, and that's pretty clean and smooth too. So naturally, sometimes when you go from one type of beer to the other, it can have different effects on your palate.
Sure.
Unless you have like a glass of water or something that you can kind of cleanse it. But this is just, it was smooth.
Yes.
Completely smooth transition. And like I said, you get some like notes there, but they're not overpowering.
Yep.
And it's just clean and it's refreshing.
Yeah. And I know typically for those who do tastings professionally or as a hobby, you typically go from light to dark. So you would taste the lighter beers, get those notes, and then you go darker down the line to not spoil your palate in between. And we kind of spoiled that because we've been drinking this nice Irish red ale throughout the show. And then going to this Pilsner is kind of a culture shock. But that didn't spoil it at all for me. Not a bit. Not a bit. So, very tasty.
No doubt. No doubt. That was good. So, Dude Abides, make sure that you get it if they have it at your liquor store or grocery store for sure.
Not sponsored, but recommended.
But recommended. Bad Dad Brewing. Check it out.
Anya, Indiana.
We are on to the final segment, and this is the World of Weird News on the Mark Moe Show. And we've been doing tier lists last few weeks, and we're back to the World of Weird News. And mine this week is titled, Squatters Install Alarm System to Protect House They Are Illegally Occupying.
You know what? That's what we call human ingenuity.
Yes, it is. I am here for this.
Protect what you got, hey?
Got to. A group of squatters who illegally took over a house on the outskirts of a village in Spain's Burgos province has installed an alarm system to prevent others from breaking into their illegally occupied home. The people of San Miguel Pedroso, a neighborhood in the village of Beldorado, are on high alert because of squatters who not only took over an unoccupied house in their community, but also installed an alarm system there to prevent others from breaking in like they did. According to some local residents, they have placed a sign belonging to the company that installed the alarm in the building to prevent what happened to the owner of that house from happening to them.
That's funny.
Some locals suspect that the squatters had been eyeing the property for some time, and after learning that no one had lived there for about 2 decades, they decided to... 2 decades, wow. They decided to move in. Now people are afraid that their houses could be at risk of being illegally occupied by strangers. It's at least curious that they entered a home that isn't theirs without permission, squatted in it, and are now protecting it from potential theft or squatting, one local man told Burgos Concheta.
I'm occupying here.
I'm occupying here. Apparently the Italians are invading Spain.
Good on them.
Good on them. A psychosis of fear has gripped San Miguel de Pedroso after squatters moved into a home on the outskirts of the village, started acting like they owned the place. On April 27th, they literally threw all the old furniture out the window, brought in their own stuff, and even installed an alarm system along with a warning sign warning others not to trespass.
That's hilarious.
Local media reports that the unnamed squatters even tried registering with local authorities, but their efforts have failed so far.
No kidding, hey?
The owner of the property has reportedly filed 3 complaints with the Guardia Civil, but police have yet to evacuate the unwanted residents. In addition to the house, the squatters also occupied a neighboring field where they put their dogs. Everything happens so fast and so effortlessly that locals are now watching all foreigners who come into... So maybe the Italians is a thing.
Right.
They're watching all foreigners who come into the village on weekends suspiciously, wondering if they aren't squatters and if their homes won't be the next to be taken over.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that great?
That's hilarious. I know squatting is kind of a hot topic issue, but you know where I stand. I think I have no sympathy for someone that owns multiple homes.
And it just sits there?
In a world where people lie unhoused and die in the streets. I have no sympathy for you.
Nope.
So I find that hilarious.
It's great.
Hilarious. They installed when they get like fucking ADT.
They come out, hey, you can install that in my house?
I want to protect my property. Oh, do you own the property? Don't ask questions.
Don't have questions, man. Just install it.
Let me pay you to protect this house.
This home.
Yeah, my home.
My home. Did you get that? My home. It'd be funny if they registered with like the post office.
Oh my god, right.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
That's funny. That's
that is
funny.
Something.
Shout out Spain, hey.
Yeah, shout out to Spain, and that is just a wonderful story. And I know here in the United States there are a lot of squatters. They will go into a home if it is vacant. Hell, if it's half torn down, they'll go in there and make the best of it. But,
can you blame them?
No, you can't. You can't.
Can you really?
It's rough, and it's gonna get rougher once we start hitting 90 degrees again in this country.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's tough.
Or like the winter overnight lows of like -5.
That's bad too.
I mean, God,
that's terrible too. But wrap up our segment. What do you got for this week?
I have a little weird news myself.
Okay.
This one comes from NPR.org. Our fellows there at NPR, a story out of Panama.
Panama.
Fuck yeah. Wrong song.
Wrong song. That's okay.
Wrong jingle. Headline. Researchers puzzle over rash of baby monkey kidnappings.
Oh, no. That sounds tragic.
Here's the story from NPR. On an island in Panama, a fad that one researcher called viscerally disturbing is taken off among a group of young male monkeys. These adolescents and juveniles have started to kidnap the infants of other monkey species.
Oh, no.
Seemingly just for kicks. What scientists think after watching a bunch of male white-faced capuchin monkeys walking around with baby howler monkeys clinging to their backs. The perplexing baby snatchings recorded in the journal Current Biology suggest that humans aren't the only intelligent species with youngsters that pursue apparently pointless activities that can be destructive to other creatures.
Oh, no.
What a phenomenal sentence, by the way.
Yes.
This is a quote. They're just doing it for the sake of doing it, to reduce their boredom or have something to fill the time and space in their lives. And I think seeing this occur in other species is somewhat terrifying because it kind of reflects a mirror on the actions that we do as people, says Brendan Barrett, an expert in animal culture at the Max Planck Institute of Animal Behavior in Germany. Also a member of the research team who a special research associate at the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute. He describes capuchin monkeys as chaos agents.
Oh, no.
As they roam through the forest, ripping up and manipulating everything in sight. It sounds very human.
Oh, yeah.
It says they're similar to humans and chimps in many ways. Yeah, no shit, hey. Quote, they're highly innovative and they're explorative. They do interesting, strange things. The capuchins that have started kidnapping howler monkey babies live on Hiracán Island, which is a part of Panama's Coiba National Park. Unlike mainland capuchins, these island monkeys have figured out how to use stone tools to break open hard food like seeds, crabs, coconuts, which is why scientists have been studying them since 2017. A behavioral ecologist with the Max Planck Institute of Animal Behavior and Smithsonian Research Associate was reviewing camera footage when, to her surprise, she saw a capuchin carrying a howler monkey baby.
Oh.
Pretty atypical.
Yeah.
Quote, it was not something we've seen before. It's not something I've heard of happening. There was, I think, a split second where I wondered if it could just be a capuchin monkey that looked very weird, but then it was very quickly clear it was a different species. Curious, she started looking through more footage. It became apparent that this wasn't a one-off. It happened repeatedly since January of 2022, when a particular immature male monkey that the researchers called Joker seemed to be the innovator of this new activity. Joker the monkey is recognizable because of small scar on his face, and over a few months the cameras caught him carrying around 4 different infants.
What?
Of a different species, holding on to each of them for up to 9 days.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
This was a tragic development for the baby howlers, as they had no nourishment and were noticeably deteriorated over time. Quote, they're probably dying from dehydration or lack of nutrition, says Barrett, who notes these babies need their mother's milk, and that several were seen actually dead on camera footage.
No.
So we've got international monkeys doing what humans in war seem to do all the time, which is alarming.
That is alarming.
A bit alarming. Just kidnapping little kids for fun is a really strange thing to do.
That is a strange thing. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. And how crazy would it be to not have scientific researchers of observing this, right? Like this godforsaken country has cut so much scientific funding. Like, imagine if we didn't have this story and then all of a sudden an island in Panama had a bunch of like capuchin monkeys like, hey, not only can we speak English, we're also ready to trade. We have trained howler monkeys to do manual labor.
Yep.
It's like, oh my fuck, dude.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
We should have been keeping an eye. Should have been keeping an eye on these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, for sure. You wonder at some point if they're just like driving around in a panel van with no windows,
right?
And just going, "Hey, psst, you, monkey, want a banana?" Just going around kidnapping monkeys. Hop in. Yeah, of course, monkey's gonna do what a monkey's do. Banana, fine. All right, I'm in.
Count me in.
Hey, where are we going?
It's fun.
Doesn't look familiar. Is that Matt Gaetz?
Oh,
that's
man.
bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Too old and...
He's not into underage monkeys.
Exactly. Too old in monkey years for someone like Matt Gaetz, actually.
That's true.
You know.
I would agree with that.
So, fun story out of Panama.
That is so great.
Yes.
That is great. That's hilarious. But that's it for this week. Got nothing else. Aiden, thank you very much for what you do on this show. I want to appreciate it. Make sure you catch his older episodes, AK219, and what he is doing in his gaming on Aiden Spelled the Right Way. And where can they find that? On YouTube?
Yes, Aiden Spelled the Right Way on YouTube. If you spell it the right way, you will find me. Otherwise, AK219 is a fun backlog of hilarious hilarity.
I love that.
If you will.
I love that.
It's a grand time.
It is a grand time. And once again, make sure you check out my other show, my radio show. That's After Hours on WVLP.org. That's where it streams at. You can also catch it on TuneIn. That is Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time and Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Like, subscribe, make comments, engage, all that kind of good stuff. We love to hear from you. Also want to thank some locals that support us: Geitonia Greek Grill, Smoketown Blues Barbecue, Valpo YMCA, Currie Ford of Valpo, Currie Buick GMC, Simko Signs Life Care Centers of Valpo, and the Entertainer Magazine. Of course, this guy to my left, Aiden Maloney. Thank you so much for listening in. Once again, please like and subscribe. We will catch you next week.
Bye.
See ya.